city of Boston, Massachusetts, in 1809. 1 year into his life, his father abandons the family, leaving his 2 siblings and his mother alone. 2 years into Edgar's life, he's sitting across from his mother's deathbed as she coughs up blood. This is where Edgar will meet a disease that will ravage his entire life. This disease is known as tuberculosis. So now Edgar is left alone. His 2 siblings are lost to the orphanage system. But luckily for us and American literature, he's saved by the Allan family of Richmond, Virginia, where they teach him and raise him and give him all the skills he needs to be a Southern gentleman. And things are happy for a while. Until. There always seems to be an until in Edgar's life. That is until, once again, he finds himself sitting across from his foster mother's deathbed as she too coughs up blood, as she too succumbs to the same disease known as
tuberculosis.
Very good. See you at the 4th drink. So now Edgar is left with his foster father, who does what all good fathers do when they want to spend time with their children. He sends them to military school. West Point, in particular. And Edgar actually does surprisingly well there, but not for the reasons one might think. Edgar does well there because he spends his time telling tales to other students. They would come all over from campus just to hear him. Pretty soon he realizes that the military path isn't for him. Shocker. Edgar instead goes on to make a name for himself. He spends his days writing at this desk. Not this desk, but a desk. To answer his loneliness, he finds a kindred spirit with that of animals. It's why it's a major theme in his work. The spirit of the dog, the bird, and for the sake of our next story, the cat. There's a cat pose. Playing chess up here. My friends, we can create a nice warm round of applause for our next tale, the Black Cat. For the most wild narrative I'm about to tell, I neither expect nor solicit any of y'all's belief. But tomorrow, I'm dead. So today, I merely wish to unburden my soul. My purpose here is to place before all y'all a series of household events. Events that have terrified and destroyed me. I married young, but from the get, my wife saw that I love animals. I always have. Love animals. So we made sure we had as many as we could. We had a shit ton. We had birds, snakes, rabbits, fish, a great dog, Allan. A monkey even. Not so good. And we had a cat. This was no ordinary cat. This cat was enormous. This cat was jet black all over. I named him Pluto. Pluto, my favorite of all my animals. My wife always stayed away from Pluto. She thought he might be, she's so clever. She thought he might be a witch in disguise. So I alone fed Pluto. I
alone walked with him around the house. Hell, even in the streets. We had a beautiful friendship, me and this cat. I started to change when I was around Pluto. I became more irritable, moody, disregarding the feelings of others. I tried not to hurt anyone. I tried. But that sickness, y'all call it, it takes hold. Oh yeah, sure, I drank, probably more than I should. Kind of like all you bitches right now. In fact, one night, I was at my tavern, I was drunk as fuck. When I got home, I noticed the cat avoided my presence. And this angered me. And in this new anger, I found him. And I seized him when I got home. And in his fright and my violence, he inflicted a wound on my finger, a nip. But baby, the fury of a demon possessed me, filled me. I knew myself no longer. And I grabbed from my waist pocket a small pocket knife. And I deliberately opened it and gouged one of his eyes out of his socket. I still shudder as I tell that one. This bitch, she got better. I walked around the house the next day like nothing happened. Avoided every side of me after that. This too, it made me so angry. One morning in this anger, I woke up and I prepared a noose and I found him and I slipped it around his neck and I took him to the back and I hung him from the limb of the tree. I know what you're thinking. I did it with tears streaming down my eyes. But it had to be done. Even if it put me beyond the reach of some merciful God. Now listen, later that night, same night, me and my wife were woken by the sound of fire. Flames. The curtains ablaze, the whole house in flames. It was with difficulty. Me and my wife even made our escape. The house, mostly burned. All my worldly wealth gone. For a while, I despaired. But then that's when it hit me. Could this, how could all of this have been in some mysterious way orchestrated by that cat? Could he have made this happen to take his revenge on me? For months, I couldn't get this thought out of my head. So fast forward. Sometime later, I'm back at my tavern, drunk as fuck. And I notice in the corner, there's a black object I ain't never seen before. My eyes are stuck like a magnet. My body takes itself there. I have to see what it is. And when I get there, it's a cat. Spitting image of Pluto. It's enormous and jet black all over. I go down to pet this beast and just like Pluto, it wraps its whole body around my hand, pushes back, falls in love instantly. I go to the barkeep. I offered to buy the bitch off him. The barkeep says, He'd never seen that cat before. So we leave. I leave. That cat follows me. We get to the house. It domesticates itself immediately and instantly becomes a favorite of my wife. That's fucking weird. And I feel it again. The moodiness. The anger. And what added, no doubt, to this anger was the next day we come to realize, the next day, that just like Pluto, this cat had been deprived of one of his eyes. Somehow this made my wife like him even more. For me, I tried to stay away. I did. I tried. But the cat always followed.